Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in to the Captain's Quarters Show. I am your host, L. Milliner, the Captain. I appreciate you all for joining me for another episode. I got a few topics to discuss tonight. We have a mayor's race down in Montgomery, Alabama. That will be August 22nd. So we're listening to all the campaigners make their cases for why they should be our next mayor. Also, I will be discussing that, as well as Hunter Biden, who is Joe Biden's son. He just went to court a couple of days ago and had a strange turn of events. There were some things that he was planning on being able to do to skate past some charges, and it didn't go down the way they expected. And then also Carlee Russell, the saga never ends. Of course, she was arrested and charged. So we are going to be discussing that. Okay. We will be discussing that. Let's see here. But until then, I'll get started in just a couple minutes. Enjoy this video, and I will be back momentarily.
I'm conservative, they hate me though and I don't know why. Instead of looking to celebrities, I look to the sky. They want me to believe that a woman can change to a guy. I give them the scripture out of love cause I don't want them to fry. But if they don't change, that's their options though. Gotta establish my steps, he running plays like a stop and go. I fight like AB, but I ain't talking the honor roll. Kids following the rainbow like they looking for a pot of gold. Might not have $1 million, but I got my soul. I guess I should make music about drugs and letting that chopper go. I mean, I strap, I only use it if I gotta blow. These other Christians scared to say the truth, they know I got them though. Female rappers get on songs to rap about their vagina. Grown man angry cause they only grew up with their mama. So all they promote is destruction, making these labels commas. They took God out of culture, then they put they trust in Obama. I mean, I guess Obama's nation is aligned with Satan. He forced gay marriage, now the world accept abominations. Yeah, the clock is ticking and God is waiting. I'm finding patience. I know Jesus ain't come for the righteous, but the finest patience. Can't you see that Satan's coming for our youth? I get persecuted when I tell them the truth. But if you ain't gonna stand up, then what's the use? I see new slaves that got out of chains to get in the noose. I'm conservative. I'm conservative. I'm conservative.
And I am back, and we are going to get started, rocking and rolling. Let's see here. What should be discussed first? The mayor's race, Hunter Biden, or Carlee Russell? What should be discussed first? I don't know. Let me see. Let's see here. What? I can start local. Let's start local. Let me start local. So we have mayor's race in Montgomery, Alabama. We have 4 candidates that are running. Of course, you have the incumbent, Stephen Reed. He's been the mayor for the last 4 years. You also have a newcomer to the political sphere here. That's Barrett Gilbreth, an entrepreneur who's, I think in my opinion, he's setting himself up to be probably the strongest candidate that can face Stephen Reed. To just be honest, just based on funding, based on his resources, it is what it is. And then you have Victorious Felder, who's, I just had him on the show a few days ago and did an interview with him. I mean, very solid, to be honest. I mean, very, very solid. I haven't spoken to Stephen Gilbert yet, so I should be having that interview coming up for you all soon. But as far as Victorious Felder, very solid, very strong in his stance on what he plans to do for Montgomery. He is definitely going to be one that goes after the crime. He wants to reduce the crime. He wants to work with other agencies, right? Just where it's not just MPD, because MPD is very short-handed. MPD is supposed to have about 480 something to 500 officers. In Montgomery, Alabama, we have less than 350. That's what I've been told. We have less than 350 officers. We're supposed to have close to 500. That's a huge discrepancy. That's a huge issue. So therefore, when you have a low number of officers like that, you're bound to have higher crime. Higher crime is just a result of less officers. So Felder is a guy he wants to, because you got that lack of officers, then we could partner with the county, you could partner with the Alabama, the state agency, ALEA, ALEA. You got, other agencies that you can partner with, and you can help, especially the county though. County is the biggest one because this is Montgomery County. So Montgomery, the city, is basically the county. You have a few small towns, on the outskirts of Montgomery within Montgomery County, but it would be very wise. It would be a great idea to partner more with the county and, help with some law enforcement, especially some areas where it's closer to the outskirts. It would make sense, right? It would just it would help take away some of the toll that you put on the officers day in and day out. So he laid out some ideas. He talked about business. He discussed the business ideas. You have to address the crime, and then from addressing the crime, you will be able to implement a different focus on certain areas of the city to bring in commerce, to bring in retail stores, restaurants, that type of thing. And Montgomery is Montgomery, so like he said, our location is everything. We're a central part of the state. We got the Alabama River that runs through Montgomery. It's just a great location. So as far as bringing industries here, it's a no-brainer that we should be able to do that, and we have been able to do it for several decades now, bringing big companies to Montgomery. No reason why that should stop. Now, the other person that's running is Marcus McNeil. Marcus McNeil is a younger guy. It's not younger, but he's like 29, I think. So, entrepreneur, has a good intention of, he wants to definitely be a mayor who's has an open door policy, who's accessible to the people of Montgomery. He pushed that very hard. I had an interview with him back in early July, or really, I think it was late June, as a matter of fact. It was late part of June when I interviewed him. And he was talking about having an open door policy. He was talking about, businesses, bringing businesses, him being an entrepreneur himself. It can help him understand the business side of being a mayor and bringing in businesses, finding opportunities and taking advantage of those opportunities. He spoke about that. So, in my personal opinion, like I said, Felder I think he's the better candidate as of right now. If we're just talking platform, if we were just talking vision for the city, plans for the city, a person that can come in with enough experience of in an area that can help him. As far as for him, is crime, because with him being 15 years of correctional officer, so working in the prison system, he's able to understand the criminal element, and then he's able to partner. From what he said, he's able to partner with other people who are business people, so they can give him good guidance in that area. So bring him ideas and figure out the business side as well, the economical side of the city. So to me, he's just the better candidate as of right now. Hopefully I can get in Gilbreth on here very soon and figure out his stance. I did speak to him, so he has some good things to say. I will say I talked to him for a few minutes. He has some good things to say, so I'll wait to share all that when he comes on, and I'll get the interview, and we can hear it from his mouth. I'll let you all hear from his mouth what he has to say. But I will say I liked it. I mean, just be real. Zoo Faded, he said Russell. What is that in regard to, Russell? I'm not sure what. Oh, he wanted me to talk about Carlee Russell. I think that's what it was. I think in the beginning I said, what should we talk about? What should be the first thing I talk about? But I go to Carlee. I'm gonna do Carlee last. I know it's like the biggest hot topic. I'll do her last though. So I'm gonna finish up with the mayor. Then I'm gonna go to Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, and then I'll discuss Carlee Russell and her situation, because it's like never ending. But so let's see. I really want to know who people are voting for right now. Like, as of right now, who do people want to vote for mayor? Who do y'all want in office? Like, but I'm wondering, because I've seen a couple polls go up. About, now I put one up myself. I put a poll up myself, as well as some others did, to see, kind of get a pulse of who's voting for who. Like, who do people think have the best chance to win? Who are they going to vote for? And from what I've been hearing, it's basically coming down to Stephen Reed and Gilbreth. Now, when it comes to Stephen Reed is he's the incumbent. He's been mayor for the last 4 years. Before being mayor, he was the probate judge of Montgomery County. His dad is, Joe Reed Sr., well-known politician around these parts. Has some negativity attached to his name, right? As far as like some corruption type stuff. And when Mayor Reed ran in 2019, my personal initial view of him was that he was a person who, to me, he leaned on his flesh too much. He was all about wanting to be the first Black mayor of Montgomery. That was he led with that. And I don't like when people lead with their color or whatever, because it'd be weird. He ran against David Woods in the runoff. So I'll use David Woods for the sake of the conversation. If David Woods ran a campaign and had commercials on TV, had commercials online, had a radio ad that ran every hour on the hour, on a certain radio station, played it, and he said, he wants to bring back, a white man to the office, right? That wouldn't be taken very well. Like people would not be okay with that. He would get destroyed, right? He would get destroyed by the media. He would get destroyed by the citizens. But when it's Stephen Reed or when it's any black person, they're able to use the race thing as a lead of why you should look my direction and vote for me, and know that I care more about you because of my skin color. It's very odd. And then people flip that around and say, if it's not that, they'll say black people don't have as much opportunities, or black people are viewed as less than because it's a white supremacy system. But yet the black people can run an ad, like Stephen Reed. He can run an ad on the radio and TV commercials talking about being a first black mayor. No problem. Let a white man like David Woods, let him say something about being a white man running for mayor and needing a white person in office. That wouldn't go so well. Right. So I'm not sure how that white supremacy works exactly. That's a little odd to me. I mean, maybe somebody can let me know, like, how white supremacy kept Stephen Reed from being mayor, or kept him from running his campaign based on his race. It was very weird. So, that was my first red flag with him. And then he was talking about crime. And he talked about crime in a way that he wanted to be strong on crime. That's what he talked like. That was like his first thing was he's black. Second thing he was saying was he wants to decrease crime. And that's funny because after he got in office, crime has gotten worse. Like, crime got worse. We went from, in the 6 or 7 years prior to him being mayor. So from like 2013 to 18, we had like mid 30s to 40 homicides a year. He got in office from 2020, 2021, 2022. We have averaged over 60 homicides a year. So we went up like 20 and some change on homicides a year since he got into office. So if you said one of your first priorities was crime, and crime has increased, especially in violent crime like homicides, that you didn't do, that. I would say he's done a somewhat decent job, because at least, I give him about as far as the economy goes. I'll probably give him like a C-, because when it comes to bringing industry, like major industry, he's been able to bring in some major industry. We've had Amazon come, FedEx supposed to be building something or expanding or whatever. Premier Tech. Also, you got Mana Beverage. billions and billions of dollars that's being put into the city. You know, Hyundai's expanding. So, you know, I can't hate. I mean, he's, you know, if he's doing those things well, he's doing those things well. It just is what it is. But as far as how he handled COVID, the way he handled COVID was so bad that you literally shut down and you suppressed businesses. So the economy was at a certain level, and then from him, you know, forcing the mask thing and putting curfews and, you know, shutting down certain businesses and all that stuff, you shrunk the economy. That's what happened. A result of everything that he did at the local level, at the city level, that shrunk the economy. And as a result, once COVID was, I guess, once they decided it was over with, because I mean, it really wasn't that bad to begin with. Just in all honesty, if anybody disagrees, you're welcome to chime in, and you're welcome to come on here, and we can discuss that separately from this conversation. But COVID really wasn't that bad. There was a huge overreaction. Okay. And so as a result of the overreaction, the economy suffered. Violence went up. Suicide rate went up. Domestic violence went up, etc. Like a whole, but it was a huge domino effect of other issues that got exacerbated because of the overreaction of a virus. And that's on him, right? That's a result of him. Now, and that's smaller businesses, that's retail, that's restaurant. That's not big industry, that's smaller industry. That's, you know, smaller stores, mom and pop stores, that type of thing, restaurants. And he shrunk that economy. And then after COVID, everything kind of came back, and then jobs got added or whatnot. So it made it look like the economy grew when it really didn't grow. You shrunk it down, and then you opened everything back up. And so, of course, everything went back up, right? Kind of basically how it was before, or maybe not even quite that good, but because things have not been the same since COVID. Just, I mean, we can all look around and tell that. I mean, I know I'm not the only one. I can't be the only one that sees how things have not gotten back how they were prior to 2020. You know, it's just so with all that said, I'm not a fan of Stephen Reed as being mayor. And, you know, I think he understands that. We did have a conversation, you know, but I did tell him I wanted to be fair, and I told him my plan was to invite all the mayoral candidates, you know, how many there were going to be. And at the time that I talked to him, that was what, early July, early this month, or maybe even June. It could have been June. And I told him I wanted to have him on as well as all the other candidates. And at the time, I didn't know who I was running. At the time, all I knew was, I think I knew Felder was running, and I knew Stephen Reed was running for re-election. And that was pretty much about it. Marcus McNeil, I think I might have known he was running at the time. But I figured there would be more people, because last go around we had like 10 candidates back in 2019. So I figured it would be like that again, but it was, you know, hadn't been that. But I told him I wanted to give everybody a shot to come on. He said he would come on. So I've done my part and reached out, sent an email like I was asked to do. And so I'm waiting for him to respond and come on. But I give him a fair shake. I might give him an interview just like I give anybody else an interview. You know, the only difference between the rest of the guys that I hope to interview is that Stephen Reed is the actual mayor. So whereas with the other guys, we don't really know what we would get necessarily until they get into office. with him, he's been in office, so we have a measuring stick of how well or how not so well, how bad he's done. So that's the difference. Keep this. Keep that water, man. All right. Let's see. What else we talk about it with the mayor? I talked about Marcus. Talked about Felder, Stephen Reed, Gilbreth. People need to go vote. That's people need to go vote local. Vote local. Vote for city council. Vote for mayor. Vote for local elections. Don't just look at the state, the Senate, the president, all that stuff. All that's important as well. Very important. A lot of people that don't think voting is important at all, but it's definitely important because these people that get in office, they're the ones that are pushing policies that whether you like it or whether you don't like it, they're going to push the policy. So you rather have somebody in there that you want to push the policy that you want as a citizen, rather than getting somebody else in, and then all you do is complain about, oh, such and such doing this and doing that. Well, you could have voted, but you didn't do that. So, go vote. Go and vote. August 22nd is the day. August 22nd. Montgomery, Alabama. Go vote for your next mayor. Vote for your city council. I don't know how much clearer I can be. Make sure you do that, because it definitely makes a difference who is in office. Don't be one of these people that aren't interested in it, and then when things are going the way that they don't want it to go, they want to complain about it. But you didn't even try to participate in choosing these people. Don't be that person. Don't be that person. Just don't do it. Okay. Let's get to Hunter Biden. So I'm going to go from a local to a national conversation. So Hunter Biden, who is Joe Biden's son, this man, all this whole fiasco, this whole incident situation with him having to go to court, all of this, basically stems from he took his laptop to a man to repair, and he left the laptop with the man, never came back to pick it up. All right, so the man had his laptop to work on it, repair it, and Hunter Biden never came back for the laptop. And while the man was repairing it, he saw some things that were criminal in nature. So he reached out to the FBI. From what he said, he did interviews, and that man said that the FBI kind of like blew him off. Like they really were not interested in what he was talking about. They didn't really care about the criminal elements and things that was found on the laptop. They just seemed to be nonchalant about it, didn't really care. Then fast forward, the man comes out. All right, he comes out, starts doing interviews and talking about it. So then it catches fire. So then eventually the images on the laptop leak out, and you see Hunter Biden doing some very nefarious, criminal, evil acts. You see it's right there. He's smoking. He doing crack. He's got females, underage, some maybe not underage, but they're in very provocative, sexually explicit images and positions and things, right? He's got a gun in a video while he's smoking drugs. It's just all kind of stuff was on there, right? And so finally, the finally he's brought to court, right? So finally he's brought to court. Now he got with his lawyer. What was supposed to happen? So he got charged with, as of right now, he's charged with like tax evasion. Okay, so let me pull this up. He's charged with tax evasion, something with taxes. So as of right now, here we go. So it says, what was it? Okay. U.S. President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden's proposed deal with prosecutors to plead guilty to tax charges and avoid a gun charge hit a snag. So number one, he was in court for tax charges. No more. Okay, no more than that. No more, no less. Just tax charges. Okay. But what happened was, it says it's supposed to be a routine plea hearing, but it turned into a 3-hour affair featuring hushed negotiations between lawyers and pointed questions from U.S. District Court Judge Mary Ellen Norica. She said, "I cannot accept the plea agreement today." Okay, so now what's the reason why couldn't she accept the plea agreement? Because they were going to accept the plea. I guess he was going to pay off the taxes or whatnot, and they were going to let him, skate on off. No big deal. I mean, you're the president's son, so if you're Fat Joe or if you're Wesley Snipes, you have tax issues. They pay their taxes and still did jail time. But you're Hunter Biden, so you're able to skate off, no problem. That was the plan, right? But the judge ended up saying that Hunter Biden has active investigations going on. So he's being actively investigated for some other charges that have nothing to do with the tax stuff. Like he has a gun charge. He's smoking crack on video. He's got women that some are underage and that type of thing going on, right? So you got some other issues going on. And as a result of the investigation for the other things, his defense attorneys, they wanted the gun charges and all that stuff to be lumped in to the tax charges. So not only would he skate on the tax charges, but they would give him immunity to all the other investigations that's going on. That's what his lawyers were trying to do. But the judge was like, no, can't do that because I'm under the impression that we're only dealing with these tax charges. But y'all are trying to lump in all these other investigations that's currently going on. Not going to happen. So as a result of that, Hunter Biden at the hearing had to plead not guilty to the charges of failing to pay taxes, whereas he was going to plead guilty and skate. So didn't happen, man. So he was forced to plead not guilty. Well, he wasn't forced, but it's what he did for failing to pay taxes on more than $1.5 million in income in 2017 and 18, despite owing more than $100,000. Prosecutors allege. He did not enter a plea in a separate case where he is charged with unlawfully owning a firearm while addicted to and using a controlled substance, a felony. That's what I just got into talking about. Wow. So, and there's your man right there. That's Joe Biden's son. That's Hunter Biden. Yeah. So anyway, the great thing about his case is that it should be going on because right now we're in late July, so we're about to be in August of 23. So the way these courts work and all that stuff, it's not a quick process. So this is going to bleed over into the 24 race. Like this is going to be going through the end of this year. Like he'll be going to court the rest of this year, like here and there or whatever, but it won't be finalized. So we're talking about it's gonna affect his dad's election, right? Because he'll be going to court the whole time. Like while Joe Biden is so-called campaigning, right? He'll probably do more like what he did last time, which was stay in the basement, do these Zoom meetings and all that stuff, fall asleep on Zooms. It'll probably be a lot of the same. But while that's going on, his son is going to be going to court. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing to see. Absolutely beautiful. I love to see that. Now, at the same time, this whole thing with Trump's charges of, having classified documents or whatnot, basically they charged him with the same thing that Hillary did and tried to hide it. And there's all kind of proof of all that. But I mean, it's Hillary Clinton, so nobody really cared to charge her with anything. But that whole Trump case will be going on too. So, I guess they'll be going on at the same time. I guess Trump be going to court and Hunter Biden will be going to court. Except Hunter Biden has a gun charge because he unlawfully he had a weapon unlawfully while being an admitted addict to controlled substances. And not only that, but he had the controlled substances in his possession while in possession of the handgun. So that's more serious than the stuff that Trump is going through right now with a whole bunch of paperwork stuff. Because like I said, when Hillary did it, it wasn't a problem. So I don't know why it would be a problem now with Trump, but it wasn't a problem with her. But anyway, so let's move on. Let's move on to y'all's favorite case, everybody's favorite case right now, Carlee Russell, the gift that keeps on giving, the saga that will not end. I think the last time I did a live on her, I was wrapping it up, man. I thought, hey, this gonna be it. This probably be it, unless it comes out that the red-headed man was a Bigfoot or something like that, and the Bigfoot carried her off into the woods, and then some kind of way she got away, and she almost became a missing 411 case, but she got away and showed up at home. If y'all not familiar with missing 411, y'all should look that up. It's very interesting. But so I'm gonna bring this up because when it comes to this Carlee case, before I get to her charges, because she was arrested and all that mugshot and all that stuff, I got all that. But before we get to that, I want to bring this up because this is a piece of this story that, to me, it doesn't get talked about a whole lot. It should be like at the forefront of this case. Because from the beginning, I've been saying this very thing. I was saying this very thing right here way before Carlee Russell's case even happened. And it's the whole thing about people that go missing and they're not really missing. Like they're missing on purpose. They're not kidnapped. They're not, somebody is trying to hold them against their will. Nothing nefarious like that. It's the person they're missing for whatever reason that they want to be missing. They're binging on drugs. Maybe there's some mental health problems or something like that. Maybe they just run away from their problems. Maybe they, dropped out of school, lost a boyfriend, girlfriend. They got dumped or something. They trying to, escape their issues. And so they go missing for a day or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. Most of the time, the people they go missing about age 14, 15 to I say like 30s, 40s, those people tend to come back home. Like most of the time they come back home and we don't get an explanation of what happened. I've been saying that most of the time these people go missing, come back home. All we get told is, hey, they're back home, they're safe, sound. Everybody moves on to their life. Everybody goes on about their business. Nobody bats an eye. Nobody cares to hear an explanation of what happened, where they were, why they were there, nothing. But when it comes to this Carlee Russell situation, it ended up being a little different, which I'm glad it became something different. But I want to talk about this because there are people, there are men, there are women, there are boys and girls that go missing. They really go missing because they got taken by somebody. They got kidnapped, abducted, or they were murdered by somebody, and their body was put somewhere, and it took years or decades for their body to be found. So, but for that whole time they were missing because nobody knew that anything happened to them. Like they didn't know that they were already murdered. For all we know, the person just ran away. Or maybe the person was kidnapped and was being held the whole time. Nobody knew. In this case right here, is one of those situations where this lady was missing or has been missing for a long time. I don't think she's ever been found. So let's go over this case right here. This is not a game to be taken lightly. The daughter of a missing woman hopes Carlee Russell understands what she's done. Within hours of hearing about the disappearance of Carlee Russell, people around the country were sharing her story and getting the word out. Let's read this next statement. Those who feel that people of color haven't received the same attention as missing Caucasians say that's good news. Family members with missing loved ones watched the Carlee Russell case very closely. And when they found out it was all a hoax, many said they were very upset. Because y'all remember I did the commentary, I did video talking about people of color, black people. They tend to, they go all in. They gravitate to these cases right here because it's a black female and they don't have to have very much information about the situation. They just want to, it's black woman. They want her to be found. Blinders on. They're not looking at any of the specifics of the case. It's not about, is it a real situation? It ain't about that. It's just about, she black and we need to find her. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. And so people, they fall for all kind of stuff. When you're so sucked into a situation based on race, then you tend to get bamboozled. It's going to happen a lot. So anyway, let's keep reading. Brandy Martin's mother disappeared from St. Clair County decades ago. I believe St. Clair County is North Alabama, if I'm not mistaken. It's like up there in the mountains. She was deeply affected by the Russell case. My mother's name was Felicia Martin Cochran. She was such a beautiful, sweet, caring, loving individual. She was a great mother. Let's see here. The last time someone saw her mother was outside of a beauty salon where she was arguing with him and they left her in her car. Who is him? So who is him? Hold on a second. Her mother left with her stepfather and was never seen again. It was very difficult to get media attention. I don't believe law enforcement at that time took it as seriously as we would have liked them to. And so here we are 30-something years later, still wishing, hoping, praying, searching for answers. She said that maybe if they had received as much attention as Carlee Russell's case, they might have found her or her remains, whichever, way. Man, she said she's had moments when she's angry at Carlee for faking the same experience her mom really went through. But mostly, she just wants her mother's case and the tens of thousands like it to receive the same attention. I just want Carlee to understand the magnitude of her actions and that this is not a game to be taken lightly. And I hope whatever kind of consequences come of this, that she understands that she has to reap what she's sown. So, the last video I had where I was talking about it, I was mentioning Anaya Blanchard, that case, and her mother went to help find Carlee, and I was saying how disrespectful it was for Carlee to be lying about the case, and then her family to keep digging the hole deeper, talking about there was an abductor, the police are still investigating, and trying to make it seem like she was really taken. But we all knew, based on the storyline I was given, based on the evidence that was in all of our faces, that she was lying. We knew she was lying. And her family kept that lie going and had people like Anaya Blanchard's mother out there looking for this lady. And truth be told, the family probably had Carlee the next day. She left on Friday, right? She went missing on Friday. I wouldn't be surprised if Saturday they had her. And then Sunday said, oh, she came home. I bet y'all went and got her and brought her home and then lied and said she walked home. I wouldn't be surprised because everything else they said was lies. And it's so disrespectful to have these people looking for your daughter, and y'all knew that she wasn't missing. Y'all knew the circumstance wasn't what y'all was initially told. What y'all y'all could have initially thought that, but after that first day, we all knew. Come on. So Carlee Russell, let's show her mugshot and bring up the case because she has been charged. Carlee Russell arrested, faces charges after disappearance hoax. Look at that mugshot. Look at this. Oh my God, man. Look at this lady's mugshot. Who smiles in a mugshot? Why she look like she just graduated high school? Like her high school portrait. What? Man, come on, man. This is wild. All right. So what is she charged with? She's charged with 2 misdemeanors. Included making a false report. So that's one misdemeanor. And she told a fake tale about being abducted. So she got charged with false reporting of an incident and false reporting to law enforcement. So there's 2 different charges, both misdemeanors, and each one had a $1,000 bill attached to it. Each one had $1,000 bill. So she does the, it's not personally. I want whatever they could throw at her, as far as the book at her. I didn't know what they could charge her with necessarily, but I want her to be charged with something, because there's no way that you should be able to be a grown woman and fake this whole thing, and then your family be a part of that as well. I think they should get charges too, personally. But there's no way that you should be able to push that lie like this, and then we just let you just ride off into the sunset, as if nothing happened. So her having the misdemeanors, yeah, small charges, but at least it's something. At least she's facing some kind of jail time, because she's each charge carries a jail sentence of up to a year for each one. So, excuse me. So, I mean, I didn't believe that she would even get like a lot of time. I didn't expect that. I would have been fine if she got 5 years. I mean, if she got 5 years, I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be like, oh, that's too long. But truth be told, she'll probably end up pleading out. And so, I doubt she does any jail time. If she does jail time, it'd be like 30 days. And then they'll give her like community service. She had to do some community hours, something like that. That's gonna be it. Personally, that's what I think. In the press conference, the chief did a press conference, and they were talking about, did she have any help? And they were like, we had no idea. They said they were focused on bringing her home, and she got home, and we're very excited about that. And then, they figured out that it was a hoax, but they don't know if she worked alone. I mean, now I'm gonna speculate and say I believe that she had some help. I think some help came her way. I believe somebody picked her up at some point. I don't believe that she walked from where that car was, where she left her car, all the way home. I don't think she walked that far. Don't believe it. Somebody picked her up. So somebody picked her up. She ended up going to a Red Roof Inn, where police got called. But then by the time police got there, I believe her family had already picked her up. I think that's when her family picked her up. They took her home and then called later on saying, hey, she just came to the doorstep. While the whole time, y'all knew she was at the hotel or motel. Y'all went, picked her up, took her home, and then called police and ambulance and all that good stuff, and made it seem like she walked home. I think the whole, I don't know who picked her up initially. I don't know if it was a friend of hers, an ex-boyfriend, boyfriend, a fling. I don't know. Somebody picked her up though. I believe that. I definitely believe somebody picked her up. She didn't walk home. No way. No way she walked home. That'd be crazy. How you walk home and literally everybody in the nation knows your face? So just imagine you're in the area of Hoover and Birmingham and all that. You mean to tell me that you were able to walk from where your car was all the way back to your parents' house and nobody saw you and reported saying, hey, Carlee Russell is in such and such neighborhood. Carlee Russell is walking in the parking lot of such and such business? That makes no sense. Like, we all know And this lady had it got picked up. You didn't walk all that way. Because I was told that the distance was like probably like a 20-mile distance. If she walked that, it'd be like 20 miles or so, maybe even longer. She didn't do that. Nah. So she gonna be, she got some charges, and I'm good with that. I'm good with her having charges. She might not do any time. That's cool. It is what it is. Like, I'd rather her get some time too. Do some jail time, but I'm cool. If she don't do jail time, it's cool. I'm fine. She also gets each charge is up to a $6,000 fine too. So, they might make her pay a little restitution, and like I said, she might do 30 days in jail, and then she'll most definitely, I could definitely believe she'll get community service, like a lot of it. She'll get a lot of it. But this lady's a nut though. This lady's a nut, man. Something's wrong with her. Something's wrong with her. And her brother I tried to find it. I could not find it. He did a TikTok video discussing his sister, and the way the brother was talking was very odd. Like, he talked about his sister. He said, when she saw the little child on the road, she called police to let them know what she saw, because she was taught to do that. Like, when he said she was taught to do it, I'm like, why did he talk like that about his 25-year-old sister? Like, he was talking as if she was like a 5-year-old girl, or like 10 years old or something. And she was taught to, hey, in this situation right here, call the police and let them know, like, where you are and what you see. Like, this is a 25-year-old woman. Why are you talking as if like she was taught? Like, y'all had to teach her, sit down and teach her, hey, you call the police now if you see a child on the interstate, like, as if she don't know that. Like, that was really weird. He was talking just odd. He was just really talking odd in that video. And that was just another red flag. I'm like, this family is just the mama lying and daddy lying, brother weird, Carlee Russell, obviously something wrong with her. Like, man, what's going on with y'all family? Like, what is happening? Look at this lady. Like, look at that. Like, something's off. Something's really off. And it's sad that the family knows that something is off with this lady, and they playing along like they have no idea, like she really was kidnapped and stuff. And like, this lady smiling in a mugshot. Who smiles in a mugshot? I don't even smile when I get my driver's license. I've never been arrested. I doubt I'm gonna be smiling. This lady is smiling like she's smiling like this is her high school graduation portrait. Like, she just graduated college or something. This is weird. Extremely weird. Let me add something. I want to add something to I'm done talking about Carlee for now, at least. I might be young forever. I don't know. Who knows? Let's see here. I want to go in here if I can find. If y'all have not, go to this page right here, From Left to Right USA. Hit the join and join the conversation over here. We are growing. Let's see here. Here we go. So I want to show this. When it comes to the mayor race, this is important for people who want to vote, which I hopefully everybody wants to vote. but these are the dates of so they're having a forum, well, different forums on different days. So August 1st, you got City Council Districts 1 through 3 at 6 p.m. August 3rd, City Council Districts 7 through 9, 6 p.m. And those are both at Ivy Center, Carmichael Place, 5907 Carmichael Place, Montgomery. And then August 7th and August 14th, you got mayoral candidates on the 7th, 6 p.m. And the 14th, you got the City Council Districts 4 through 6 at 6 p.m. And those are both at Hutchinson Missionary Baptist Church, 860 Grove Street, Montgomery, Alabama. So, I don't even know if I can even make those. Let me see. I don't know if I can make these or not. I might be able to make one. I mean, if I do that one, I wouldn't do that one. I would do that one. I don't know if I'd be able to make it. I'm not sure. But you guys need to know because you guys need to go. Y'all need to know because y'all need to go. See if anything else I need to show y'all in regard to. I don't know if y'all are. I am so sleepy. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. So yeah, when it comes to that mayor race, I mean that's probably all y'all need to know right now, and just understand that I did the Marcus McNeil interview, Victoria's Felder. I got what's his name, Barry Gilbreth. Got him coming on very soon. Try to get that locked in. I did speak to him yesterday, so hopefully I can get him on here in the next couple weeks or so. But I do have, and then also Stephen Reed should be coming on as well. I don't know at what point, but we'll see. And I got a young lady that's coming on. We're looking at doing a live stream on the 4th, so August 4th. She is very active in the community here in Montgomery. She has a nonprofit that is very well known around these parts, and I actually went to school with her back in the day, so I've known her for a long time, and I just like what she's doing, man. I respect it a whole lot, and I just want to have a conversation with her about what she's doing in the community. What made her want to get started with her nonprofit. She's written a book. I want to talk about that, and just talk about different issues that we have going on, and why those issues are happening, and what can be done to change those or turn those around. So I think it'd be a very interesting conversation. And her name is Ashley Robinson. So if you're in Montgomery, if you look up Ashley Robinson, Change nonprofit, it's called Change. She'll pop right up. You'll see who I'm talking about. So I was in contact with her. We'll be doing that live stream. That's gonna be a good one. And I think that's it. On YouTube, hit that subscribe. Hit the like on this video. And hit subscribe. It only takes a couple seconds. I appreciate you. If you're on Facebook or if you're not on Facebook, go over to Facebook, From Left to Right USA. Join that page and become a part of the conversation. We all share, many of us share content, whether it be TikTok videos that are more guide driven, guide centered content, or it could be something political. And I welcome everybody over there. Like, you don't have to be on the right. Like just because I'm on the right and I'm conservative and I'm a Christian, that don't mean that you got to be that to come over to my page. There have been many people that have been all kind of faiths, all kind of political leanings that have been on that page, and I didn't kick them off based on that. So, some people just stopped posting or whatnot. But I'm definitely a person who's I appreciate another person's perspective, and I'm willing to have a conversation with that person, even if they got a differing opinion or different faith or something like that than me. I don't mind that. We can have that conversation. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it on my end. But I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody for watching. And I will continue dropping the snippets of my interview with Victoria's Fielder. So I've already dropped 2 of them, if I'm not mistaken, 2 clips or snippets or whatnot, segments of the interview. So I will be sharing those. I'm breaking it down, and I got a few more I'm gonna do. So I'll be doing that over the next several days, really, dropping those out so you can see a shorter version of the interviews that I had with Victoria's Fielder. And then I do the same thing with Barry Gilbert as well once I get that interview in. So, hopefully that can make it easier to watch, because some people don't want to really sit down and watch like an hour or 45-minute interview or something. Some people don't want to do that, or for me, I'll just put you in my ear. I just got my earbud. You know what I'm saying? I put my earbud in, and boom, I'm listening to whatever. I don't have to watch it. I can just listen to it. But that's just me. But anyway, so I'm breaking them down so that makes it a little easier. Watch a little 5-minute video or 3-minute or 8-minute or whatever video of a person answering a question about something that maybe you want answered. Maybe you need to hear the answer that he gives. And so you can do that in a short time frame, real simple. So it's just something that extra I'm doing. But anyway, I appreciate you all for joining me. Let's see here. Yep. Hey, man. This was the Captain's Quarters Show. I was your host, Il Milliner, the Captain. I appreciate every last one of you for joining me. Until next time, y'all be blessed and have a safe night and safe week until we meet again. Peace out.